Today we're at our mountain playground in eastern Washington for an unlikely shootout. It's the 2023 Bronco Sport Heritage Edition versus its bigger brother, the Bronco Wildtrak. That's coming up right now on Driving Sports TV. In today's challenge, we know things are a little bit lopsided. On one side, we have the compact crossover-based Bronco Sport Heritage Edition with a 2-liter turbocharged motor that makes 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. It also has all-wheel drive and a twin-clutch drive unit. Price as it sits here, $46,400 US, including destination. On the other side, we have the full-size Bronco Wildtrak SUV. This includes front and rear lockers, Haas 3.0 Fox dampers, and a 2.7-liter turbocharged engine that produces 330 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. The Bronco Wildtrak starts at $61,315 US, including destination. So you might be asking, what is the point of this shootout? Well, number one, it's gonna be fun. Second, we're gonna find out at what point do buyers need to make the jump from a light roader like the Bronco Sport Heritage to a proper off-road machine like this Bronco Wildtrak. Exactly where is the line? And special thanks to Eric Zapp for bringing out his Bronco Wildtrak. If he makes it through all the courses, he wins a Driving Sports hat. We play big time out here. So Eric, thanks for bringing this out.
Absolutely.
So I got a quick question here. You own this Ford Bronco Wildtrak. You're wearing a Subaru hat and a Subaru shirt. What's up with that?
I'm on my way to go meet a bunch of old Subaru friends, and I just happen to be driving a Ford today.
There we go. Okay, so right now we are in just too high because we're just entering the course. So you've watched videos on this course. Like you've seen some of our videos here, right?
I have.
Yeah. And what's your, coming out here, what's your first take on this place?
The hill is a lot steeper than it looks on the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my first take.
Well, let's see how it is once we start taking your car through it. So this is getting rutted, but it's not going to be a challenge. I'm not expecting any of this portion of the course to be difficult for the Bronco, but we're going to go through it with this one because next I'm going to take the smaller Bronco Sport through the same courses and see how well it does. This one should have no problem. It'll probably just eat them up. At the very least, we will show the difference in size of these two vehicles on these courses. Because a lot of people still don't realize that the Bronco Sport is not the Bronco and the Bronco is not the Bronco Sport.
I get it all the time.
Which is crazy, right? I mean, this is so much bigger. So here, I do know that coming out of this is a fairly steep, tight turn climb. So we're gonna go ahead and go into 4 high, I think. I'm not gonna do any special modes at this point. Okay. Do you know how much ground clearance this thing has? It's a lot.
10.3?
Yeah, it's enough.
Should clear this, no problem.
So why did you go with the Mickey Thompson tires instead of what it came with?
Those ones have real small gaps, and so they tend to throw a lot of rocks.
Yes.
They aren't very good on the road. They tend to walk left or right around corners.
What if that's just a Ford thing? Because I noticed on my Ranger Tremor when I got it, that has the general grabbers, and those things threw rocks everywhere. I had to get rid of them because of that. They had good grip, but little rock machine guns.
Well, I chose these because they've got the snow peak on the side, so I can play with them in the snow and on the mountains. They've got more wide open grooves, but not quite a mud terrain, so they're still quiet on the highway.
Right. So that's, we're going over the Rattler, by the way, right now, which is our rock-covered mountain road, and the suspension feels really great on this. That is smooth.
Soaking it right
I'm
up.
not getting jarred at all.
And my Jeep that I came from, I would have been just hitting the gut.
Yeah, exactly. Every single time. You don't know it until you compare the two side by side, but that was really smooth. Seeing this portion of the course, what do you think we should do as far as powertrain setup? Low? Auto?
I think 4 Auto should make it, or 4 High should make it, but
let's try 4 Auto.
Give it a try.
So 4 Auto. Not going to do anything. Goat modes at all? What do we got on this one? We got normal, eco.
Everything but rock crawl.
Oh, no rock crawl, huh?
Which is low range and lockers.
Yeah, it's the same thing, right? You do have the Baja mode though. That's cool. Yeah. No Baja mode today, though.
No.
Okay, well, I'm just going to put it back to normal. It's the pony. That's funny. Okay, and here we go. Ready?
You went too high.
My what?
When you went.
Oh, I hit it.
It automatically shifted.
I hate that.
Yeah, just for checking out eco, it goes into too high.
Yep. They should just put eco somewhere completely else. Like, you know, make it a 5-button combination or something. Okay.
Or make it to the left.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, or whatever.
Push. That is a weird parking brake.
As soon as you give it gas, it cuts off.
It should. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're in 4 high, and I'm just going to drive up here, and I'm going to cut the inside, which is a harder line, but should be no issue for this with these Mickey Thompson tires.
They're still at 36 pounds. So.
36, yeah, we did not air down for this at all. Climbing, just letting throttle in. Let it figure it out. Oh, there we go.
So when you were doing the comparison with the Toyota,
yeah,
you thought this was that. It's not. This is only your speed control. You can turn it down to 1 mile an hour. If you set it to 0, you give it gas, it goes, and you stop, it brakes, and you can adjust it here up 1 to.
You're picking apart my episodes already. I like that. That's good.
It disabled the advanced track.
Oh, okay.
And so that way it won't spin a tire or get a brake, and so that's why it was just sitting there spinning, doing nothing, because you had it in 4 high.
I see. 4 high won't do it, but 4 auto will. Interesting. Okay, see, that's the kind of thing you learn when you actually own the vehicle and you drive it for more than a couple days.
Yeah.
Great. Pro tip.
I'm pretty happy this thing did that, and just with this advanced track, it was able to kick. You felt it.
It was, yeah. It was able to shift the power around as necessary.
I got that set up there, so you can watch it if you want.
Great. We got the off-road screen up here, which I like. See how tight this thing turns. Now, this is a 2-door, which is really cool. They did not give one of us these in the fleet, so I never drove one. Oh, man, that's tight.
And you're still in all-wheel drive.
Yeah. Now, of course, you also have the turn control feature if we wanted to tear up the road. Yeah. So the next little thing we're going to try here is the Sidewinder, and that basically takes the same concept of the Rattler, but it adds a steeper, twistier climb. And at the bottom of it, we have a little rock pile that we're going to go over. Now, there's a couple different lines we can take with the rock pile. We're going to take the hardest line, which, again, shouldn't be an issue for this vehicle. But oddly enough, even in my Ford Ranger Tremor, it still lifted 2 wheels. It'll be interesting to see if this lifts. I know it can get through it, but I kind of want to see the dynamics of the vehicle as it goes over these obstacles. Also, the wheelbase is a lot different than my Ranger, so it may not lift anything.
It doesn't have a lot of travel having 2 sway bars.
Yeah. Yeah, because of that Haas setup, right?
Right.
Okay. So here we are in front of the rock pile on the Sidewinder, and I'm going to set this up. You don't have a rock mode, right?
I do not.
So what do you think is the best strategy for this one?
I think it's going to go over these like they're not even there.
Probably, right?
The way it is. Yeah.
So just keep it in 4 auto, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets really steep, we can
we can change things out then. Okay, cool. Okay, so we got a front view camera going on here, so I can kind of see where I'm putting the wheel. Now, for the hard line, I'm going to go all the way to the right, preferably without rubbing. Now, I'd love to see wheel tracks on this, but no go.
On the other one, it does, where it's split into 2.
Yeah.
It does have it, but not on this.
Oh, okay. So we are lifting some tire here. So is this remarkably hard? No, not at all. But I'm just taking over easy because I want to see how the vehicle responds to this situation. Obviously, it's a Bronco. It has underbody armor. We could just slam through that if we wanted to, but we gotta learn things. So we're in 4 auto, so we really should see that wheel braking as we climb up this very steep and twisty corner. We're currently at a 13-degree tilt, and I think this one goes up to 19. Let's give it a shot. Go tight on the inside. Come on! Ha! Ah, obviously, no problem. But that's kind of fun. So now that we've done Rattler and the Sidewinder, which were 2 of our hardest courses up until recently, I think it's time to take these on the real challenging courses that are right over there. So this is Python Pass. This is one of our more challenging courses here. It's new, so it's very, very soft. It's full of boulders. You're running Mickey Thompson 35s. We have front and rear lockers on this thing. I think we should use them. So I'm gonna go ahead, put it into neutral, 4 low. Lockers on. Drive. I don't know, should we try trail control?
I don't think it's going to do it at slow speeds.
Yeah, we need a momentum, don't we? Yeah. So I have done this in the Colorado Trail Boss. Honestly, a little surprised that I was able to get up it. The G80 auto locker got us up and through, but it wasn't easy. It struggled. So let's see if this vehicle is going to struggle.
Let's find out.
And we are running stock tire pressures right now, about 35s. Just going to add a little momentum here. Just a little. See if we can just basically work our way up. Oh, we're dancing. We're dancing all over the place. Dang. Oh, geez, this is fun. Oh, easy. Okay, that was awesome. It does get tighter here, though, so probably disconnect the front locker.
Yeah, it'll be a lot more maneuverable.
Okay, there we go. Oh, I love this little 2-door wheelbase. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, there was a stump there. I should keep an eye out for that stump. Okay, and then it's going to get tight here, so I got to cut the inside line. Oh, yeah, no problem. Man, this thing turns on a dime. Okay, so Python Pass was actually surprisingly easy for this vehicle. Now, keep in mind, this vehicle is more extreme than 99% of other things you'll find on the market. Definitely more capable than the Bronco Sport, but we're going to see how well the Bronco Sport does in just a little bit. Now, we're going to try the ladder, and I haven't driven enough vehicles up the ladder to be able to tell you whether or not it's harder or easier than Python Pass. So we're about to find out, I think. Okay, so here is the ladder, and this has a maximum 25-degree angle, but also it's even slipperier than Python Pass. It's basically like the hard part of Python Pass, but the whole course. I think we're going to keep it in 4 low. I think we're just going to lock everything. I mean, I think that makes sense. And I think we're just going to gun up it. You know, I was thinking about using trail control, but I just don't think it's going to get us anywhere.
No, I think it'll get to a point and just stop.
Yeah, and then we'll start digging holes in the trail, which we don't really want to do. So, yeah, I'm going to try a moderate speed first and see how that does. And if it doesn't work, we'll reset. And here we go. Modest speed. And it's mostly because I don't want to kick up boulders. Oh my gosh, this thing just eats it up. What the heck? So I did this in my Ranger and it was really hard. This thing, yeah, this is the litmus test. This is when you want to dominate everything. Yeah, Bronco Wildtrak will do that. Dang. You know what this means, sir? You have earned yourself a Driving Sports TV hat. Congratulations. Thank you so much for bringing this out for me to drive on this. I mean, new roads, we need to test a lot more vehicles, and this thing really, really dominated everything.
Well, I appreciate inviting me out. I'm excited to see this in person.
Yeah, really steep, isn't it?
It's really steep. Doesn't look like that on the video.
No. Now that the bar has been set, and rather high at that, it's time to see just how capable this Bronco Sport is. I don't expect it to make it through all the courses, but we're really going to see just how far this little crossover can go. Having just gotten out of the big Bronco, it's time to readjust expectations. This is a crossover. It is not a body-on-frame SUV like the big Bronco. It is not wearing 35-inch tires. And it is already scraping its undercarriage. This is going to be a lot more challenging simply because this uses brake vectoring to shift power on the system, and it has a clutch in the middle to shift power from front to back, meaning it's an all-wheel drive system as compared to the full-size Bronco's 4-wheel drive system. What I'm going to do here is basically nothing. That's right, I'm not going to do anything yet because this is just a rocky road. It should be no problem. But I am going to listen for clearance issues because this does have more than 8 inches of ground clearance and some underbody protection. We just hit a rock. It doesn't really have a lot going on here. Obviously, with the Bronco, we were able to just blaze through this. This one, you gotta take it easy because you don't want to hit a rock at too high of a velocity. So I'm just crawling along at 2 miles per hour. Right, and then we have the climb out of here, which is gonna be fun. Ooh, so many rocks we're hitting. Eee. So I know this climb is challenging and I want the best chances of success. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip the goat mode. Let's do mud and ruts. That automatically locks the four-wheel drive system. Four-wheel drive, that's how they call it down here, which really just basically locks that center clutch. And then I'm also going to lock the rear drive unit. This uses clutches to send power left and right. When that's selected, it basically will keep the two wheels rotating together, or for so much as the computer and hardware can do that. And away we go. Now look for those individual wheel brakes on the outside, and we'll see if we can get up this. I'm just gonna roll up slow. You'll note the front camera also turned on when I started this climb. Yep, we got it. Yes, no problem. That made it look pretty easy, didn't it? Well, now we're gonna kick things up just a little bit and go on the Sidewinder, which has a challenging rock crossing, as well as an even steeper climb out. Now this is one thing I like about this car. Very tight turn radius, because of course it's a compact crossover. Also, I can keep that rear drive unit locked and it will still release when I go into corners. Whereas when you hard lock a proper rear diff, it won't do that. The tires on this vehicle are Falken Wildpeak AT3Ws. These have the full 3-peak rating and they are a great all-around all-terrain tire. This is gonna be fun. And I'm gonna take the same hardline that I took with the Bronco, you know, to be fair. I am going to keep all of the settings still engaged. We're still going to use the rear lock setup as well as the mid lock. And then I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to change the goat mode to rock crawl because I don't want to kick rocks out. And I'm going to turn on the front camera and away we go. I would like to see some guidelines here, but unfortunately we don't have them. I am going to hug everything far right though, because this is the harder line. And we're going to look for wheel spin. And it's not just the wheel spin, it's how fast those brakes lock the wheels that are spinning, which then redirects power to the opposite wheel. Or in the case of the back, how quickly the clutch can shift power or keep that lock engaged as we roll over. And wow, this is doing great. I am just slowly crawling over because I'm not sure on clearances. I've never taken a crossover over this yet. No problem, made it look easy. Okay, well, let's check out this climb on the Sidewinder. Let's check the seatbelt here. Oh, it comes back. That's nice. Yeah, there are some brands where that doesn't work. So I don't need to be in rock crawl here, so I'm going to turn it to, let's do sand, because I really want a lot of wheel spin coming out of this corner. So when I went there, it automatically put it in four-wheel drive and disengaged the rear locker. So let's just roll with that. Here we go, up and over. Come on, little climber, you got this. Oh, like a billy goat. So far this has tackled everything, but now we need to make a decision. Dare we try taking this up Python Pass? There's not a lot of sidewall on these tires and I am concerned we're gonna scratch up the rims. Or we could do the new climb, the ladder, which is really rocky at the bottom, but I think ultimately might be a little bit safer for this vehicle. So I have an idea. First thing I'm gonna do is go down the ladder to see just how it feels in this little crossover. I've never taken a crossover up or down it before, so this is a first. So here on the ladder, it's a great opportunity to try the trail control system. The big Bronco also has a form of trail control, and I think it's really great that Ford puts it even on their compact crossovers. I have asked Subaru to do the same with their Forester, but they haven't. So plus to Ford if it works. What I'm going to do for setup here, I'm going to go ahead and hit the button there, set speed using cruise control. So I'm going to set it for a speed of 1. I'm going to lock the center and we're just going to ease down using the trail cruise control system. Wait. Let me see a camera view because, oh boy, that's steep. Foot off the pedal and we're just driving down into oblivion. Ah! Okay, that's pretty good. I feel like this is really steep. Yikes. That's doing a good job of keeping us at 1 mile per hour. It's a little like 0 to 2, 0 to 2, but it's averaging about 1. Just gonna turn it up here on this out part of the bowl. And now as we crest, I'm going to turn it down again to 1. This is where things get sketchy because it is loose. If we start to slide and the vehicle can't catch itself, I'm going to have to throttle down and cross my fingers and hope for the best. Because there's not a lot of runoff. There's actually a big cliff right over there, but I think we'll be fine. I think that's being overly dramatic. Although I am feeling a lot of shifting in this vehicle. Wow, this is really where something like hill descent, or in this case trail control, comes into its own. It's doing a really good job of easing us down and keeping us pointing the right direction. Very impressive. Man, I'm really glad I built this hill, because you just don't really feel like hill descent does this much until you have a hill this steep. And of course we have very pointy rocks here. Hopefully we don't ding our undercarriage. Any dinging? Any dinging? No. Wow, that's pretty good. Nicely done. But can we go up it? That is the question. It's also going to determine if we try to even go up the Python Pass, because that is so soft and so challenging, and the rocks are so big. I'm really concerned about damaging these wheels, because this is Ford's vehicle. They loan it to us. It is a press tester, so little scratches can happen, but let's not try to make scratches, okay? So going back up again, I am going to turn off trail control. It's not as aggressive as, say, Toyota's crawl control system, so it's not going to really give me a benefit here, and I need momentum. So I am going to lock the rear, I'm going to lock the middle. Actually, first let's go to goat mode sand, because I want momentum. It's a little sandy kind of surface here. And I have both four-wheel drive and the rear twin clutch unit locked, and let's send it. But not too hard, because we don't want to break anything. And here we go. Come on, Wild Peak AT3Ws. Wait, what? What? Oh, we got this. Oh, come on, send it, send it, send it. Power. And yes, we did it. Keep momentum for that 25-degree climb out the end. And we are over. Wow, that's impressive. So if you're going to compare this against my Ranger climb, the thing you have to realize is my Ranger and that Bronco just cleared all the boulders out of the way. So I was able to go up clean tracks, and that helped. But still very impressive. Dare we try Python Pass? Yeah, I think we should try it, just a little bit. Okay, so this is the biggest and baddest trail we have. It is Python Pass. It is super loose, big boulders, lots of hazards, and it gets windier near the top. My biggest concern here is actually wheel damage, and that is because we have big boulders but also soft surfaces, so the sidewalls are essentially going to sink. Even with 17-inch wheels with big sidewalls on trucks, I have scraped wheels here, and I don't want to do it on this Heritage Edition. So I am going to take this pretty easy. If it struggles, then I'm going to back off and we're going to call this good. But that should give you a good indication as to the capability of these type of vehicles. And here we go. I have four-wheel drive, I have the rear locked, and I am in sand mode, so I get ultimate wheel spin. So we start to go up. Come on, climb, climb. Oh, we're just digging. I'm feeling a lot of boulders kicking under us. So let me back up a little bit. Oof. Oh, as we slide down a little bit, super slippery. Okay, we're gonna try it with a little more speed. And this is the second and last attempt, I think. Okay, here we go. A little more speed. Oh, that's a big boulder. This thing isn't as, yeah. Sorry to say, I'm not gonna push it. Nope, this is not built for this. And I could just feel these boulders can cause a lot of damage on this vehicle. Yes, it has a plate in the front, but it doesn't have extensive underbody protection. Also, yeah, no reason to totally mess up these wheels. So all in all, this is a great little vehicle. Sure, you can't do that, but most trails even aren't gonna have something that soft and silty. Typically, you're gonna have more compressed rock and dirt. So more like our other trails, basically. That's our comparison. Should you get the Bronco or should you get the Bronco Sport? If Python Pass is your kind of road, then yeah, definitely get the Bronco because it just eats it up. If something like the latter is as far as you're gonna go, yeah, the Bronco Sport is just fine. And of course, the Bronco Sport is cheaper to operate too because it gets better MPGs, it's easier to drive around town, and it's also easier to park. Thanks for watching. I'm Ryan Douthit for Driving Sports TV. Be sure to like, subscribe, share videos. We do them for you, and I hope you enjoy them. And also a special thanks to Eric Zapp for coming out with his Bronco. That was really fun to take on the trail today. See you again here real soon.